Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Tyler Williams from Team Necro, MTG, and today I'm going to bring you a highly subjected to change mono black aggro list here for post rotation. Cards are already not legal, but not until Friday of this week. Some of the cards in this deck will be legal. Still not sure if we want to end up going into white for Chief of the Edge, which does boost a lot of our guys, and ends up turning out for some pretty insane damage really quick, and also for Soren, who gives us a way better mid to late game. But yeah, let's get onto the list. So we're gonna start with the spells for each, and we'll move on. So, starting off, we have 4 Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is just like a format-breaking card. Turn 1 Thoughtseize can end the game. If they keep a hand with a low amount of threats, and you Thoughtseize it away, you can win a game just based off of that. So, a hand, and you can keep really low mana hands with this deck, so a hand with a Tormented Hero, Gnarled Scarhide, and a Thoughtseize, and pretty much any land, and you're able to take one of their main threats. You've got a pretty good advantage there. So, it's pretty self-explanatory. Moving on to Boon of Erebos. This card's really good. If you guys don't know what this does, I'll hold it up for you. I mean, it's not a very played card. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Regenerate it, and you lose 2 life. So, this also gives your guys some survivability. It's ways to kill coursers with nothing but Tormented Heroes or Gnarled Scarhides. Just combat tricks, regeneration. It's a great card. You do end up losing 2 life, but with this deck it doesn't matter too much. I mean, this is pretty much Suicide Black itself, so it's alright. I really do like this card. Moving on to Crippling Blight. This card is not a very played card either. 1 black mana, enchanted creature gets -1/-1 and can't block. This is also for those Courser type decks. To Crippling Blight a Courser is really good because now it can't block and now it's doing a lot less damage. I mean, they still do get that card advantage in life, but you're saving yourselves a lot of blocks that Courser would have done, and it's going to be good against Siege Rhinos when people start playing that in Junk, once those new cards do come rolling in. Moving on to Tormented Hero. Sorry. This card was always in the list. It's just a great aggro card when he enters the battle. He enters the battlefield tapped, which can sometimes be to a disadvantage, but he can overall block, which is better than you can say for a lot of your different 1-drops. And he also has a heroic ability that can trigger off of a Boon of Erebos, even Crippling Blight if, say, they're at 1 life. Just finish him off that way. You can also target him with Bestowing, or if you didn't know that. So, guy's pretty good. Moving on to Gnarled Scarhide. This guy's just a 2/1. He can't block. He's for 1. But this guy has Bestow, so just for +2/+1. So you can target this guy. You can put him on a flyer to make your flyer bigger and swing over for some extra damage. We're down to 3 of these guys, which we were previously at 4 because of the newest addition to the list, which is Bloodsoak Champion. He's a new card from Cons. I've only got 1 right now, that's why I've got some just blank cards here, but sorry. Yeah, so he can't block, he's for 1, and you can pay 2, and if you attacked with a different creature this turn, you can bring him back for the graveyard for 1 colorless and a black, which is really good. So just reoccurring dudes on top of the dudes you already have. Say you're gassed out. This guy pretty much says, well, I'm not really that gassed out. Bile-Blight. This card is another combat trick against Courser. They block one of your dudes. You Bile-Blight it and their Courser dies. Your guy lives. It's a way to remove multiple Satyr tokens off Xenagos. It's a way to remove multiple Soldier of the Pantheons. Things like that. So moving on to the 2-drop creatures. This is a very controversial card, or at least within my group of players. Some of my aggro friends think this card's really good. Some of them think it's really bad. Like, it's very mixed reviews. In testing, it seems to be really good just because it is a 2-mana guy who can block if it is needed, and his inspired ability just does keep you from getting gassed out and keeps giving you things to fly over with, bestow, and all that. I don't know. He seems pretty good within testing right now, but we're still deciding. If we do end up going to black-white, this guy comes out for Chief of the Edge. My next 2-drop creature is Spiteful Return. This guy's real good, but we're only running 3 right now because I think 4 is a little excessive, considering he's only a 1/1 for 2. I mean, his ability is great. When he attacks, your opponent loses 2 life right off the bat, so you can throw him on a Herald, swing for 4, and they take 2 off the declaration of attackers. He's just real good for getting in damage even when they have a Caryatid. So they can block him, but they're still taking 2 no matter what. So this guy's real good against the green decks too. Here's Herald of Torment. This guy is pretty much one of your best cards in the deck, because he's what gives you that reach. Not legitimate reach, but he's the one who gives you the ability to win those games that you never thought you would be able to, and win those games where the board presence is huge. They have a bunch of guys, you have a bunch of guys, but you have this one flyer who can also bestow onto a guy and make one of your guys have flying. So now your Painseer has +3/+3 in flying. And even if they kill the Painseer, he comes onto the battlefield. The one downside of him is you do lose a life every upkeep, but it's not really that big of a deal. Like I said, you're going to try and kill your opponents fairly quickly here. Here's pretty much our finisher in the deck. Mogus Marauder. A lot of the times I do find myself playing on this on turn 3, which is another controversial topic within our team, is whether Mogus Marauder is optimal on turn 3. If you have 2 in hand, sometimes it really is optimal on turn 3, because a lot of times what you can do is 1-drop, 2-drop Mogus Marauder, then turn 4 you play a Gnarled Scarhide or a Blood-Soaked Mogus Marauder, and then they get haste and swing. The only reason you can't do it with Tormented Heroes is because he comes in tapped, and then you pretty much got the game there. For lands, I'm actually a little land heavy compared to a lot of my friends playing deck lists like this. I'm on 24 lands compared to 22. And it's not just 24 swamps, believe it or not. I'm running 4 Polluted Delta. These are proxies, obviously. I mean, the set just came out, and these aren't exactly the easiest cards to get from the set. Obviously, Bloodstained Mire, or whatever the red-black one is called, I think it's Bloodstained Mire, is also fine. I'm not playing any blue cards in here or the board. It's just mainly for thinning out the deck. It's also marginal. Whether or not it's worth it. That's another controversial topic. It's going to take a lot of games before we know if it's worth it to run these. So, like I said, we're just testing right now. But some games I'll crack 3 of these, right? 3 of these in one game, and then I know that those are 3 swamps that I would have drawn. And you don't want that. Or at least I could have drawn. And I don't want to draw swamps, obviously, if I've already cracked 3 of those. Moving on to the board. The board is actually not really close to complete at all. But whatever. I'll just show it to you. Starting off, we have 2 Agents of the Fate. This guy seems pretty good in this list just because we have Booner Varabos and Crippling Blight to target him with. I mean, Crippling Blight doesn't seem that good to target him with, considering it gives him -1/-1, but them sacking a guy can mean a lot, especially if it is a Sarkhan, not the Planeswalker, but the dude, the rug dude, or whatever. Also, you can target him with Bestow, triggering the ability to make them sack a guy. And he's also a 3/2 for 3 with Death Touch. Don't forget about the Death Touch. It's actually really decent. Next card is Feast of Dreams. This is definitely being tested, but it's destroy target enchanted creature or enchantment creature, which that may not seem like a lot, and it's nowhere near as good as Ultimate Price was for us last block. But This is definitely another courser killer. I know I talk about killing coursers a lot and stuff like that, but that's like really our biggest problem with this deck is courser and curated lists. And that's the reason why the black-white list is actually looking a little bit optimal right now, is because giving your 2/1s plus 1 attack with Chief of the Edge means that you can kill their caryatids with your 2/1s, and that just seems really good. Next we have 2 Erebos, God of the Dead. This guy is just card advantage. Your opponents can't gain life, so there's no like late game comebacks with Archangels, even though those are rotating. I don't know really what else gains you a lot of life. No Nyx Fleece Rams will be gaining them life, and whatever. Also, you can turn them on once in a while. You can actually turn them on quite frequently, considering Herald is 2 black. And there's 2 of those. Dark Betrayal. This one's real good. It's 1 mana, destroy target black creature. It is at instant speed, which is like what tops it off. I was gonna say it's good against Desecration Demon, but card's obviously rotating out, or has rotated out already. It's kind of a shock. But yeah, so Dark Betrayal, just good against the mirror match, good against pretty much any black deck, any junk deck, any Jund deck. I don't know so much about Jund, but you get the point. Farukah's Cure, this card seems really good. It just seems real good. Deals 2 damage to target creature, and you gain 2 life for black. For 2 black, so like, this is especially good against Burn, Sly, any decks that you can just kill their dude, gain life. Like, that's, sorry, that's so much value. It's actually like crazy. So there's 4 of those in there for that. Another Crippling Blight against those Courser decks, already explained, and 3 Despise. This is really against any type of slower deck. These are most likely to come out. I mean, these really haven't been tested at all yet, so we're gonna see. But I think that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm definitely going to be releasing more videos and stuff of different deck techs for all the teams' different decks. Probably have some more members of the team releasing videos, doing their deck techs. This won't be the only one I do of this, because I probably will change it, like I said, depending on testing. But that's pretty much about it. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.